Greetings and salutations, I am the Raven, and this is Arcade Spirits. Words.
What?
Hey,
And
cow.
on your Raven Let's Plays bingo card...
Joining me is a bunch of lunatics who can introduce themselves.
It's me, Mario!
I thought you were Gandalf. And I'm Freakazoid. Hug bees!
Freakazoid, Freakaseed.
And I am Wacky Russian Man.
I see. And I am here. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just here. I didn't get invited. I mean, I did not willingly come here. I got dragged here.
I have only one thing to say for myself, and that is that somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me, and that I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed.
Oh, God.
Also, she was looking kind of dumb, with her finger and her thumb in the shape of an L on her forehead.
Best introduction ever.
I literally just impro'd that.
And it was great.
Yoko, some of your introductions are just bloody amazing.
Stop it! Let's get on with the game.
We have to all work together to make this dream a reality. This is it. The next few decisions are going to be critical in shaping the future I have in my mind's eye. I'll need to choose very, very carefully because there's no take-backsies. Iris is looking for spaces we can use, but we're going to need money, obviously, and arcades are risky startups. I could always respond to one of the many Nigerian princes emailing me amazing offers, but I'm thinking more traditional funding is safer. Way I see it, there's 4 people here who could foot the bill to get us off the ground.
Hamza, Gavin, Percy, and...
Queen Bee, I guess, because she's got the gaming group.
Matt and Ben,
True.
actually.
Oh, okay.
Hamza, you've got a tangled web of connections in the industry, access to games, and plenty of cash. And a freewheeling whimsy to burn it or spend it all.
I also have my emergency pants! Hamza is a man of resources indeed! Here, free pants!
Percy, you've been building a charity war chest for when you pass. I know an arcade isn't a sound investment and it's hardly a charity, and you're probably going to need quite a bit of that for heart medicine, but...
You promised me Mr. Muppet would always have a home. If I can help restore that home, I'm game, love.
Ben, Matt, you two know how to run a small business. You get invaluable knowledge and resources we could draw from if you're willing to dip a toe in this industry.
We have been looking for new horizons to conquer.
Like new lands to explore!
Stop eating the Scooby snack.
Shaggy, please.
But there will be caveats.
Terms!
Conditions.
Exemptions!
Rules.
Guidelines!
Best practices.
Worst practices!
That's not a thing.
Aww!
Mary!
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Hamza would likewise have conditions, such as pants being optional!
As would I.
Understandable, of course. Let me hear your thoughts, then I'll decide. Decision number 1, funding and direction.
I misheard that. In order for me to back your play, Hamza would require you to strike at the very heart of Deco Nami's empire. And open a family restaurant alongside your... Wow, Hamza is just me. Alongside your arcade. Take from him the very business he adores so much.
Yeah, we don't know the first thing about running a restaurant.
Thankfully, your business partner does! I own several restaurants. I would provide staffing and resources.
Adorable.
Now, this is a risky play, but if it succeeds, the reward shall be tremendous and adorable.
Suspicion.
That's actually similar to what Matt and I had in mind.
Oh, yes, but rather than a restaurant, well, we'd like to open a barcade.
I've always wanted to run a bar.
I'd raise a glass to that idea, in fact.
Italy.
After all, sometimes you just want to go where everyone knows your name.
And they're always glad you came.
No, it won't be nearly as large scale as a family restaurant. Much safer.
Not quite as profitable, but still quite tidy.
Honestly, I prefer you just simply rent a video arcade and nothing more. Handling the extras seems like a recipe for failure. We know how to operate a simple, small-scale arcade, so why not stick with our strengths? Oh, granted, it has a smaller ceiling for success than the others, but it's just an arcade and won't pull in anyone looking for more. Low risk, low reward. And I say that will be my condition. We need to stick to the basics.
Oh no.
Oh.
We have to choose.
So, take the big gamble on a family restaurant, or make a cozy little barcade, or just go with a classic video arcade.
My cottage core self is leaning towards barcade, but I'm also very much siding with Percy here.
This decision is going to affect the entire direction of the new venture. What do I want? What's my dream? And just a side note, none of these three choices are quote-unquote wrong.
See, like, on one hand, I want more Hamza. On the other hand...
We have seen firsthand at Deco Nami's place that linking a family restaurant to an arcade probably isn't the best idea.
It's not the best idea because he runs it in a... Because it's
If you actually ran it correctly, it could be an amazing thing.
Yeah.
But you have to run it correctly.
It's run for profit, not for satisfaction.
Yeah.
I'd still lean more towards barcade or just
I've seen all three of these,
regular.
I'll let you guys decide.
Crap!
So good D6 to roll. Man, go to the other side of the room.
I have several D6s to roll. What flavor do you want?
I also have
Nice flavor.
I also have these D6s, so
I got some myself.
I have the fruit roll-up dice in my hand.
Okay.
Okay.
So
1 to 2 is Hamza, 2 to 3 is Ben and Matt, 5 to 6 is Percy.
okay. 2, Hamza.
oh dear.
Hamza
Alright.
it is.
It's time
Here we
to
go.
ham it up.
Hamza, I think we can do business. We'll make a combination arcade and family restaurant.
I can hear now Naomi be like, "Oh no."
We will have cupcakes every day.
Such is the iron will of the ham! You will not regret this!
Mm.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
A bit
Like you
disappointed,
said.
but we'll still be happy to lend a hand where we can.
Absolutely!
Having Mr. Moopy around, available for families to enjoy, would be nice, actually.
We're not done deciding things yet, guys. Okay,
Oh, crap.
the second thing we need to talk about is what sort of games we want to focus on.
Joust.
Oh boy.
The Funplex did a little bit of everything, and we will too. Well, we want to include all gamers.
Oh god damn it, I see where this is going.
But we can also highlight one style of play or another. Really provide best-in-class gaming for a specific audience. Any thoughts? Decision to game focus.
Do.
Oh! It's not going where I thought it was going. Maybe.
Give it a minute.
Retro games! It's gotta be all about retro games. You know I'm capable of keeping those older games in tip-top shape. If we focused on retro games, we could serve an audience that Deca's completely ignoring.
I would agree with Miss Fairchild. Retro games are an untapped market. I grant you wouldn't pull in as much profit, but we know gamers are seeking them.
True.
We don't have to make all the money, just enough to keep our pure and untainted dream afloat. And we can do that with a well-curated retro game library.
God damn it.
Retro's cool and all, but let's talk esports games. They'll draw money better than jamming a magnet up your ass and dragging you through Fort Knox.
Especially because gold isn't magnetic.
But it's an excellent conductor.
Get a good couple good fighters, more than one FOD, some race and dance games, the kind of stuff where folks can compete head-to-head and wear Golden Freddy.
Oh god. I have to agree with Queen Bee. You can play retro games on emulators and consoles, but you can't duplicate the community experience of an arcade at home. Besides, that's where my dealer is. I'm so sorry.
No, you're not.
If we had an esports focus, we could build something together which works as a second home for all sorts of gamers. Fun fact, the university where my dad works at now has an esports major. Yeah.
I think you know what I'm about to suggest. Redemption and prize games, they provide excellent profits. It's a car with Deco's business model, yes, but if we focus those games that we can do them right, no predatory pricing, no scams or rip-offs.
And the truth is, most people enjoy them, from kids wanting to win that big prize to the wistful adults recapturing their childhood dreams of playing skee-ball on the boardwalk. They're simple to play and most of all fun. If they're done right, we can make meaningful memories for everyone. And prizes, did I mention the prizes? We can stock the shelves with the coolest prizes around, better than Deco's prizes, which fall apart 2 minutes after you get them.
Which matches my ideal arcade more? We'll have all three, sure, but do we emphasize retro games, esports, or prize games?
I'm leaning towards retro, to be honest.
Oh,
Same.
really? I don't know. I felt like Sparrowson was more of a community person, and I would have leaned toward esports.
I'm also thinking he might want to tie into his past with a bit about a skee ball and the whole thing about the prize being going that way.
Vacuum.
What say you, Vacuum?
What says the vacuum?
The Vacuum just says all the ideas suck. Next.
Clearly we just need a boxing ring. That's what the vacuum says.
Yeah, we need one of those inflatable sumo wrestler costumes.
To be fair, I'd be more siding with Queen Bee and Teo myself, because what makes word of a good arcade is the community that creates itself around it.
Since you're basically echoing the argument they made, it's because that does seem for better option.
I do remember as a kid, fighting games being a huge part of the arcade community, and that was essentially the predecessor.
That was what made arcades survive the 90s.
Yeah.
Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. And the lines those would get.
Yeah.
But think about it, you had the Street Fighters, the Mortal Kombats, the NBA Jams. They started to incorporate all those linked games that you would sit down in, including a Battletech game or two.
Yes!
So, that there esports?
As much as I would love to do the retro thing, I'm kind of leaning towards esports now.
Mm-hmm.
The mob has spoken to the sports, up here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Arcades are all about healthy communities. If we can build an esports scene around the new arcade, we'll have regulars and healthy competition. I'm game for that.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Hot damn, now this is a plan. A choice, kid.
My body is ready for the next dance, and I just shoved a breadstick up my nose.
Okay, so that's money and games. Now let's go beyond what we already had at the Funplex. Let's really make this something special.
Not gonna say it, not gonna say it, not gonna say it.
Decision 3. New projects. I want a defining feature for arcade. One which will make it stand out. Something nobody else is doing. Something nobody's even thought of before.
Not gonna say it.
All ideas on the table. If it was too outlandish for the Funplex, it's not too outlandish for me. Show me your moves!
Well, I mean, I'm not really a part of this, but...
You are now!
Come on, you're my best friend and 100% part of this. I wouldn't be here in this moment if it wasn't for you. Go on, Juniper. What's your idea?
Branding.
Mm-hmm.
I'm freelancing now, which means I could come on board as your personal brand manager. One heck of a consulting gig. An arcade needs a really stellar image management to stand out from the rest, like the event poster I made for you.
Oh, hey, Juniper! I can add to that. What if we work together? I was thinking of designing a new mascot costume anyway, but I could collaborate and coordinate with you on how it'll tie into the visuals for the rest of the arcade.
Yay! It's a winning combination! Ashley and I can do great work together coming up with some really stellar branding and marketing. We'll stand out in a crowd.
If you're gonna sell a sausage, you gotta sell the sizzle.
Hell, I know exactly what sort of project I'd want us to do. Streamer support.
That sounds like a good thing to do.
Assembling and packing away my streaming rig each day is ridiculous, and duct taping a webcam in front of a screen is a lousy hack. If I could just step right up to a game and, I don't know, swipe a card or something and be streaming with a direct feed in seconds. Well, I could think of a dozen streamers who just flock to our place to get a piece of that.
Actually, I think I know how we could do that. I could rig up a general purpose daughterboard which plays man in the middle with the video feed, works with an RFID reader to get a streamer's info.
That was just like no words.
Ties it into a central video encoder on the Wi-Fi network. Yay! I could make that happen! And without damaging any classic hardware!
And yes, all of that actually does make sense.
Once more in English, please. I know software, not hardware.
We stick a thingy in the thingy and everything works just fine. I'm sure there's some legal and copyright issues to tackle, but if we can do it, let's be the world's first streaming arcade.
I was thinking, well, if the reason why all the games are considered a dead end is that they don't work in the ticket game ecosystem, why not add ticket output to normal games? We could reward skilled players with prize tickets based on their highest score, speed of completion. With the right bouncing, we could make all games just as hard as those ones with those annoying
Let me guess.
achievements.
Gavin is going to back this one up.
Yes, he is.
Oh, he's the only one nobody's spoken up after the main crew. As Naomi said, and as Yoko said, there may be legal hurdles to clear, but I'm in the favour of this idea. It's not that I love prize games, but I find them boring. Personally, you know I favour pinball, but the profit is the lifeblood of an arcade, and prize games are profitable. If we can get movie producing tickets, well, that's something nobody's ever done before.
Interesting. But as much as I'd love to do all three, I doubt we'll have the money or time for that. Let's focus on one project to launch our arcade with. Do we want to have really good branding, or streamer support, or retrofit tickets on old games?
Well, speaking from a management perspective, like assuming ultimately we could do all three, the best one to start with would be the tickets.
I am inclined to disagree that that's the best one to start with necessarily. And I'm basing this on the various management classes I've had to take.
I mean, fair. I'm literally pulling this out of my. It's an impression that I have. Well,
it is potentially a good way to generate revenue. It would get more, like, none of these ideas are bad.
But remember where our focus is at the moment.
Yeah. With our focus on esports,
arcade streaming.
Yeah,
I would be inclined to go for the arcade streaming.
In the middle of a family restaurant?
Well, the restaurant's off to the side.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
I know. I'm just poking.
Branding would be my second choice, because again, if you gotta.
Here's the thing, though. If we are the first esports-focused arcade with streaming, that's pretty much its own branding.
Yeah.
Right. It makes a brand in itself.
Yep.
True.
I mean, granted, it isn't, it isn't specifically focused on either two, but, you start with one idea and then you would incorporate the other two as you go on as you evolve. But this is kind of focused on the opening.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Go on, go for esports. Esports streaming.
I want to be on the cutting edge of technology. Ow, that's sharp. And the arcade community. Do whatever you have to incorporate 20 XDX broadcast systems into our games. Oh no, wait. My knife just came open in my pocket. Hang on.
Oh no.
And on that
Cutting edge.
Another cutting remark. It's time to bring this video to a close.
I mean, you could have called it a sharp remark, but
I think we just get too keen on the topic.
We need to back away from this edge before we go over.
This cliff's too high.
I'm the Raven. This arcade smooth. This lunatic of the Raven crew. Introduce yourselves and say bye quickly.
I am Ham. Bye.
I am Cookie. Bye.
I am the indecisive one. Bye.
What? No, that's my job. Survive!
I'm Jelly. Bye.
Bye, folks.